So let's walk through this post, all right? 90% of sellers are terrible at group demos. 3+ buyers on the call, crickets. 5 steps to running group demos that close deals. There are some gems in here, guys. Let's talk through them. Step 1, what we heard. Most often, you've only met 1 or 2 people on the demo. The other people on the call, they're new voices in the deal. These are stakeholders that can influence your deal. They are super important. Okay, let's not ignore them. Guys, if there are stakeholders on a demo, they're not there because they've got nothing better to do. Yeah, you've got to treat them as these people are just as important as all the other people that you've spoken to already within the business. And therefore, you need to manage them and understand that they can derail your deal at any given moment. They're not up to speed yet, so that's your first agenda on group demos. Absolutely. Spend 5 minutes summarizing prior calls. Yes, right? John, I know you're new to the call. Quick summary on what Helen and Sarah and I have covered on the previous demo, XYZ, right? Summarize it, the business problem, its root causes, its negative impact. Then get their input. Emily, talk to me about how this is showing up in your world. Great, you've got them involved straight off the bat. You've brought them up to speed with what you've done so far with their peers. And now you're looping them into the demo. Step 2, frame every feature with pain before you show any feature. Yep, I'm going to read that again. Frame every feature with pain before you show any feature. Frame the pain it solves. But Chris, didn't we already summarize the problem? Yeah, but you'll frame the macro problem. You're right. Now you're getting into the details. One of the issues John shared earlier was XYZ. Here's exactly how we address that. Perfect. Yeah. This could be on a previous demo. One of the issues John shared earlier, or last time round, was XYZ. This bit that I'm going to show you is exactly how we address that. That pulls people into the demo with you. It gets them to engage. Bang on. Now, step 3, use everyone's names and toggle often. Notice in the above examples, I said Emily, I said John. Do this throughout the demo. Guys, this should be a constant, not just throughout the demo, throughout your whole sales cycle. From cold call, where initially you're trying to buy time, you want to at least name drop them, mention them first name, mention their first name at least 3 times. Yeah, what's the most important word to people? It's their first name. It's their own name. Human beings are selfish creatures. It's fact. Name drop, super important. And also it makes sure that you're getting them to listen and getting them to engage, right? Do it throughout the demo. Use people's first name. Call back to something they said earlier. Cycle through everyone. Repeat. Do that well. Impossible for them to tune out. Exactly that. Exactly that. If we're in the middle of a demo and I go, look, John brought this up earlier, Sarah. I'm just going to show you. This was super important. I've got John's thoughts on it. Let me show you. And I'd love to get your thoughts on it. I've just said John, Sarah, John, right? So even though I'm talking to Sarah, John, I've also got his attention. I've already named him twice. Make sure everyone is on the same wavelength. The worst thing that can happen, or one of the worst things that can happen, you run a demo. You've seen interest from 2 people on the demo. You take them with you, and the other guys are left behind. The other guys and girls are completely, they're back here, you're over here. You need to take everyone on the journey with you in the same bus. They can't be on separate buses. Step 4, ask engaging questions. After you share a key feature and how it solves their problem, stop and ask a question. But stop asking these. Does that make sense? What questions do you have? These are gap fillers. They're like word fillers. Ums and ahs and likes. That's exactly what this is, just in sentence form. Does that make sense? You're filling space with nothingness. Yeah. We want to actually make sure that it resonates, right? Ask these instead. How does that compare to how you solve this? To what extent do you envision this solving X? Feels like that resonated. What struck a chord? What in particular struck a chord? Feels like that didn't resonate. Where did it miss? Why did it not quite land for you? Again, make these sound natural to yourself, right? So, for example, how does this sit compared to your current process? Is it better? Is it worse? Is it the same? And then dig a bit deeper. Oh, it's better because it solves this, this, and this. Okay, great. So imagine if we can solve that for you right now. How does that impact you personally? What does that free you up to do if we can solve that? Maybe it's just peace of mind, right? But dig a bit deeper. These are the type of questions you need to have these stopgaps in demos to make sure everyone's on board and that they understand you're showing them the future state, then take them back to their current state and really exasperate the pain. Not, does this make sense? Do you have any questions? Yeah, because does that make sense? It's just like, yeah, it's a fob. It's just like, yeah, I can just fob that off. It doesn't really have to make sense. Just the answer is yes, right? What other answer am I going to give you? So combine this with the last few steps, you'll have a conversation on your hands. That's the whole point. We're trying to create a conversation, not a lifeless presentation, as he says. Now, step 5, host a discussion at the end. This is interesting. As you approach the end of your demo, back up and ask the group. In a second, we can talk about next steps, but I'm curious to hear from each one of you. What resonated most about what you saw today? John, let's kick off with you. What was the one thing that we looked at today that you're thinking, this could make a real difference in the business? That question sets expectations that each person engage. Go around the room, ask opinions, toggle between people. Have you noticed, you guys, whenever you get training of any sort, whether it's internal or external training, at the end, they typically say, they either go around the room and say, what's the one thing you're going to take away from this session? And then people go around and say what they're going to take away, or write down the one thing you're going to take away. And then they'll ask you, what have you written down? It's a way of getting people to be engaged throughout. And then at the end, just cross-referencing and checking that everyone is on the same page, right? And it gives them the opportunity to verbalize and put out in the ether the actual best thing they're going to take away from this demo. Right? Really, really good. Then go into next steps. That's it for now. Hope you like this. Look, this is a great post, and we shouldn't sleep on these kind of posts, right? Because we're going to find ourselves AEs at times, even sometimes when there's 3 people on a demo, or you've done a demo, you've had an initial call with one person, and then they loop in someone, and then they've also looped in someone else that you weren't expecting. That's okay. That shouldn't throw you. It's not like, okay, I prepared for the VP of sales being on, but I didn't know the marketing director was going to be on. That's all right. Yeah. Engage them all. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Marketing Director, I spoke to John last time and here's what we uncovered. And he was telling me about problem X, Y, and Z. This particular feature that I'm about to show you actually solves that. I'll be keen to get your input after I've shown you. Yeah. Then find out from them. That's great for John, and that really works well for his team. But if that frees John up to do X, Y, and Z, what's that impact going to be on you? Give me your perspective from a marketing lens, because obviously I was expecting the VP of sales on here, but I wasn't sure you were. Just curious to see, what are you looking to get out of today's meeting? Just go around and check like a human being. Imagine you're a host and you're having a dinner party and you're hosting. You're going to make sure every person there at the dinner party is looked after and everyone's good. That's exactly the same thing that you're doing here. Think of it like that. Make it natural. Make it a conversation. Don't ignore anybody, but make sure the guys that have missed out, just bring them up to speed. You might be at a dinner party and someone shows up late. They're going to feel out of the loop because you're in the middle of a conversation. Bring them up to speed. That would be the right thing to do, right? Exact same thing here. Guys, let me know in the comments if you found that useful. Really, really good. And if you have any questions, just drop them to me. I'm more than happy to answer. Edit. I will answer every single one of them for you personally. And in the link below, in the description rather, there is a link to my 50 best discovery questions. These are my personal discovery questions that I've put together. You will definitely be able to use some of them in these demos. They are free. Use them. Just download your free copy. It costs you nothing, and it's going to help you massively going into 2026. That I guarantee.